Welcome to Goof and Giggle. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Sharon Pearson, and I'm here to help you do throw together activities for your toddlers. Today we're going to be talking about painting. I know, do you cringe when you hear that you're going to paint with a 2-year-old? Let's see if I can give you some tips to help you make it less stress. Stress less painting with your toddler. So how many of you do start painting with your toddlers at 18 months to 3 years? That's the age group that Goof and Giggle is the best for. I start pretty young with mine. As soon as they can pretty much sit up in a stable chair, we start painting of some kind, usually finger painting or painting with baby food or applesauce, something that's safe because they will do this when they're really young. But we start painting really early. Today we're going to be addressing about the ages 18 to 36 months. So first of all, let's talk about how we can set up for a stress-free environment. So as you can see on my table here, I have a shower curtain. I don't know if you can tell that. I'll hold it up there for you. So I would put this on the floor underneath where we're going to paint. We have a lot of carpet in our apartment, and so I want to make sure that our carpet is well covered if we're going to paint. If we are also going to use a table that I'm worried about, I would put something like this on the table. Most often I will use a child's table with child-sized chairs for them to sit at. But if I want to join them, then we might sit at a higher table, and then I want the table covered as well. And let's address the chairs a little bit. If you're going to put your child that's 18 months to 3 up to a table to paint, make sure they're in a stable situation, as if they were going to be eating at the table or something like that. So a booster chair, but well stabilized, if they have a seat belt, if they need a seat belt, because they're going to be reaching back and forth and they're not thinking about sitting at the table or steadying themselves in the chair, and we don't want them to go toppling over in the middle of our painting project. So first, cover the table, cover the chair. Now cover the child. So I taught preschool for a lot of years, and the parents would bring in these really great smocks, and I think these are fun. They put these on backwards, and it Velcros easy so they can get it on and off. Now the one thing about smocks that you buy in the store, they're way too long on the sleeve. So I would suggest that you either roll this up quite a bit or just go ahead and cut it off, because they're going to drag the sleeve across their paper and get a lot of paint on it. So make sure that the smock is well positioned and comfortable for your child, because you don't want them pulling on this with painty hands. So if you're going to use a paint smock, that's a couple of tips for you. But my very favorite for my preschool classes was to go ahead and use a daddy shirt or a mommy shirt that buttons in the back. And then they just simply slip their arms through here. I would cut the sleeves off so that they're not too long, pull up any of their sleeve that's going to get into the paint. And I like the cotton shirts or a fabric shirt because it will absorb some moisture. With these plastic ones, the paint just kind of rubs back and forth, and it's really easy to keep spreading paint. But when you get paint on a shirt like this, it pretty much absorbs into the material and it's not as easily spread around. So just a little tip, maybe one of your old shirts works better than one of the cute smocks, but whatever you feel the most comfortable in. I will say that this is really easy to launder. Yesterday after I painted with my grandchildren, I just threw the whole thing in the sink, gave it a couple of little shakes with a good soap, and hung it in the shower to dry. So that was pretty easy and pretty less stress. Then the other thing that you want to have ready on your table is some kind of either paper towels, napkins, or I really love these little wipes. They are non-toxic. I don't have to worry about what they're getting on their hands or their face if we use these wipes. So I would pop up some wipes and have them ready while we're painting. So now we've got the table ready, we've got the seating ready, we've got the floor ready, we've got the child ready. Time to paint. So you might want to have your painting supplies kind of handy, because as you know, toddlers aren't very patient about waiting. They want to get there and get it going right away. So have your paints handy. I have mine in a little basket here and I can just grab it fast. Usually I have the brushes and the paints all in the same basket, and we can just grab the basket and go. Now, what I don't recommend for an 18-month-old or 3-year-old is giving them every paint that comes in the set. This one had a set of 10. So what I would do is just have some of these gone when I start to set the table for the kids and just have a smaller selection. Do you know what happens if we put all these colors together on the child's painting? You're right, it turns brown. It's a big muddy brown. So in order to also help teach the children how to mix colors that go well together, I might do this. I might take away this purpley blue and the green and leave these three and let them discover that yellow and red and maybe a little bit of white makes a really pretty orange. Yesterday my granddaughter wanted purple and there was no purple in the box. So we used red and blue and white, and she made a really pretty purple. So again, too many choices are confusing for a toddler. They really don't care that there were 10 in the box and I've only gotten 3 out. They may have a favorite color, like my grandson really loves green. And there were 2 greens in here, kind of a blue-green and a green. So I might give him a choice of the green. But then again, I would just give him yellow or white or one of those so the color doesn't muddle too much when he's painting. So now you have your selection of paints. I like these washable, non-toxic ones. I also have a recipe for making paints if you want that. I think we have it right here on this Facebook page, but I can post it for you again. So, but we're using a store-bought paint today and a thicker paint. When you're using a watercolor paint, just a really quick tip, if you give them a whole glass of water to dip their brush in to make these wet, you're going to have very, very wet paints. So I just let the kids have a spray bottle and we spray them wet, and then we use a Q-tip. For one thing, the Q-tip is very isolated, and for another thing is that the color doesn't spread as drastically from color to color. An 18-month-old won't know to use a different paintbrush for each color. So if they use green and then they might turn it around and now they're using yellow, it's not getting the colors spread from paint to paint. So there's a little tip on watercolors, but we're not going to talk too much more about watercolors today. So Q-tip, spray bottle, watercolors. All right, so how I set up the paints for the kids. If we give them all 3 of these, they're going to mix the colors in these bottles and we'll probably have to throw them away. So we don't want to give them the bottles. We're going to take a paper plate and make a paint palette, just like you see the artists have. So just going to take a little bit of yellow and some of our red and our white, and we're good to go. So now, if your child is old enough to understand that you don't want to mix the colors except for on your paint, you can give them 3 different paintbrushes and put 1 in each color and tell them, this is the yellow paintbrush, this is the white paintbrush, and this is the red paintbrush. Anyone under 2 or around 2, 2.5 won't understand how to do that. So it's okay, just let them mix them with the same paintbrush. It's all right. It's all about the fun and not the perfection, right? So they're going to be doing this. I like the shorter paintbrushes because it doesn't have so much length on it. And so they'll be dipping here and then onto their paints and their colors, I mean. So as far as where you want to rinse the brushes out, if you give them something like this on the table, a paper cup full of water, and they're reaching across to rinse out the brush, it's going to do this because it's not heavy enough and it's too tall. But if you give them something with a lower profile and some weight, I know this is glass, but you're right there, so you're going to fill that with water and they can get it into the cup without kicking it over. That's a better choice than something tall and something lightweight. So another tip for less spills, less stress. So then they begin painting. You can give them a choice of colors. I always try to steer the kids to a color that will most show contrast on the color. So using oranges like this and reds, I would probably use a yellow color, and so they could begin painting. I like these wider brushes for the little ones because the tiny brushes that come with a watercolor has such little amount of paint on it that they won't really want to be as precise as that at the beginning. They're going to want to do this. Nice wide strokes. So I would give them a series of brushes that they can use. And then as your child gets older, like our 5-year-old that was doing painting with me yesterday, she wants a little more precise brush, and so you can give her the narrower brushes and maybe a wider selection of paints. So then when your child is done with their beautiful artwork, you have to think about where it's going to go. So always have some place in your mind that's close by, a flat surface that you can lay the painting to dry. Because this can be just as stressful as any of this going on, is where to put these when they're dry. When I had a class full of 15 preschoolers, that was a big challenge because we had to find a flat surface where they could dry in a classroom. So if you hang it up, that's okay, but just know that if there's any paints that are drying, they're going to drip and maybe alter the picture that your child has just made. So there's some just little really quick tips for you on keeping the stress out of painting, some throw together activities for your toddlers and preschoolers. And I hope that you enjoyed this today. Join me on SharonPearson.com for more ideas and tips and tricks and pro tips for you about Goof and Giggle. Thank you so much, and watch for an exciting announcement coming your way on the Goof and Giggle page in the next couple of weeks. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.